Hello, welcome to The Makeshift. Do you have a drawing or idea that you've always wanted to print on a t-shirt? Well, right now, we're gonna make it happen. Let's open up our sketchbooks and our eyes to the infinite possibilities that screen printing creates. You can take any drawing or image and turn it into a permanent printing vessel in just a few steps. Making screens is an entire art form in itself and is the focus of a future video. So for now, let's close the book on that and just focus on the art of screen printing. Always wash your hands before touching any clothes you're going to print, and wear clothes that you don't mind if ink gets on. Create an ink barrier by placing a piece of foam board inside of the shirt. An additional one may also be used. This helps to keep the shirt flat and ensures that you will not print through the entire thing onto the back. Straighten it out as much as possible. Always lint roll the printing area. This will remove any fibers or debris that would have compromised the quality of the print. I'm using a reference print to ensure a precise layout for this shirt. Here I am measuring 1 finger from the seam of the neckline. Screen printers are some of the only people who still use body parts as increments of measure. Double check that it's centered. Look through the screen to align it to the reference print below. This is one way to get consistent graphic placement when printing multiple shirts. Now, carefully push down and rock it back on a flat surface without it sliding around. Remove the reference print and carefully rock it forward. Now, you're ready to rock. Get the final printout piece of paper ready to go. This will be used to collect all of the ink after printing. Here is some golden, eco-friendly water-based ink. Properly mixed ink is essential for optimal quality prints. Start mixing and add water with the spray bottle if the ink is too thick. Continue mixing until a uniform consistency is reached. This takes about 1 minute and will start making little air bubbles when it's ready to use. Add a generous amount of ink to the top of the screen to ensure adequate coverage so that the graphic will print properly and entirely. The extra ink after printing will be returned to its container for later use. Make sure there is an even amount throughout and that it will cover the entire width of the graphic and then some. Now introducing the crane technique. I print on a low table to make it easier to reach. I use my right foot and left hand to act as anchors to hold the screen down and in place. Even out the ink with the squeegee to prepare for flooding the screen. To do so, cover the entire graphic with a thick layer of ink. Now, with great strength, push down and pull towards yourself with the squeegee at a 45-degree angle. You can flood the screen going up as well. Get it as thick as possible before it goes through the screen. Distribute your hand pressure on the squeegee to make sure the entire graphic gets printed. You can scoop up the ink as well. This will sink the ink into the shirt, becoming a part of it, rather than just resting above it, which is the case with Plastisol ink. There are 2 different kinds of ink for screen printing. Plastisol, which is made from plastics, and water-based ink, which is made from eco-friendly materials. Lay it back down for the 4th flood and pull. I only print with water-based ink. This environmentally friendly ink does not contain chemicals that are toxic to humans, animals, or the environment. It is 100% solvent-free and biodegradable and can be easily washed down the sink, which is soap and water. No safety gear is needed to work with it, such as a mask or gloves. It opens up more possibilities for creativity and artistic expression. After the 5th pull, flood the screen one last time with a generous amount of ink, leaving us with a grand total of 6 floods and 5 pulls. Put the squeegee down and create a counterweight with your right hand to carefully dismount yourself off of the screen. Get the squeegee out of the way, then slowly pull the screen straight upwards to reveal the print. Doing this slowly will prevent the wet graphic from folding over onto itself, thus ruining the print. You could continue printing if you want, but please remember to always flood the screen between prints. I'm just going to do the final printout now to gather all of the remaining ink to save for later. Returning the remaining ink back into its container is completely fine when doing single color prints. Straighten out the print, cap the ink, release the print, and immediately go wash the screen. Start with water and coffee filters to wash the bulk of the ink off of the screen. Coffee filters work great because they don't leave any tiny fibers on the screen. A sponge could be used instead. Then I use hemp bar soap to wash off all the remaining ink in the screen. This method has always worked better for me than buying some expensive and toxic screen cleaner from a print shop. Washing water-based ink down the drain is completely fine because it is eco-friendly, biodegradable, and 100% solvent-free. Looking good. Rinse off the squeegee and pat it dry to avoid the wood from warping. Then rinse off all remaining tools. Hang the shirt to dry for about an hour because it is a relatively thin print. Thicker prints will require a longer dry time. Now, on an oven-safe dish or cooking sheet, place a towel down to create a heat barrier. Fold the shirt so that the graphic is not touching itself, and straighten it out. Heat the oven to 326 degrees. To cure the ink, also known as heat setting, put the shirt in the oven for 5 minutes at 326 degrees. With oven mitts, carefully take it out, and here's the finished print from conception to creation. Whether for fun, business, or a hobby, printing your own artwork is extremely rewarding and will ensure that you get the highest possible quality print every time. Some say we're living in the plastic age right now, and the last thing we need on Earth is more plastic. Please consider printing with water-based ink. You can also take it a step further by printing only on organic and sustainable garments. If you don't want to print it yourself, please consider asking the printer if they could use water-based ink. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the art of screen printing. Please subscribe for more creative videos and step-by-step tutorials about printing and many other art forms. Thank you so much for watching. See you again soon. Stay golden.